Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Going to be doing a review on the Trick or Treat Studios 1/6 scale Michael Myers figure from Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Been really looking forward to getting my hands on this piece and bringing you guys a review. I want to say a massive thank you to madabout.horror.co.uk. It's where I get all my horror stuff, and they got this sent out super fast, super well packaged up, arrived in absolutely mint condition, so I can't recommend them enough. I'll leave a link to the store underneath this video in the description. Make sure you check out Mad About Horror for all your horror needs. Alright, let's take a look at this gorgeous packaging here. It couldn't be better. It's one of my favourite front covers for any of the Halloween movies, even though I'm not a massive fan of Part 4 itself. The actual front cover here is one of the coolest things. You got the Trick or Treat Studios logo there, and I love this image. Really awesome. 10 years ago, he changed the face of Halloween. Tonight, he's back. Nice. Let's have a look at the side here. Very cool. In the back, we have an image from the movie. Let's take a look at some of the folks responsible. We've got portrait sculpture by Justin Mabry, additional sculpting by Alex Ray, and clothing design by Tanila from Tanila's Customs. And open up the flap. We are presented with some text there that you can read. Here is Mikey in the packaging. Comes with the hand for holding onto the knife and the knife itself. Alright, let's bust him out. Alright, so I'll just remove the clear plastic clamshell action. Go ahead and put that over there. And so we've got Mikey. Nice and heavy. Good weight to him. Take off the plastic protectors and reveal Mikey. Look at that. Nice. Zip action. Burnt hands, all crispy hand action. Nice boots. Alright, and here he is out of the box, standing on the desk, looking pretty intimidating. Doesn't come with much, obviously, just the knife and the hand to hold it. Definitely would have been nice to get a stand at least, like with a little name plaque on there. I hope they start including those in the future. There's not much to complain about here. I will just say something that I've noticed in the videos that I've seen before. I've got my copy here, and now it's confirmed having him in front of me. I do wish the sleeves on the coveralls were a bit longer, because when you bend the elbow to do knife holding poses, you know, you're just going to expose that, really, obviously, but there's not much you can do about it. Also, I don't know much about Halloween 4, but I did notice this kind of, not exactly shoulder pads, but his shoulders kind of come up higher than this. And you could do that yourself and stuff this, but then that's only going to make the sleeves even shorter. So I wouldn't do that, to be honest, but it's not a bad looking piece. I do like the head sculpt, even though I'm not a massive fan of this mask. I do really like the way they've done it. I think they've captured it pretty damn well. As usual, I'm really digging these sculpted hair jobs with the Myers heads for a change, because having been in the custom world for so long now and spending a fortune on custom Michael Myers heads, they always have rooted hair and you're always fiddling with it trying to get it to look right. It's just nice to not have to worry about that with the perfectly sculpted hairstyle. Well, I'm looking forward to doing photography with this guy. I'll put him in some different dioramas. Don't stand up, don't fall over. See, he does balance pretty well, but it'd still be nice to get a stand. So I've got a spare kind of generic one here, which I'll just use while I'm messing around here to keep him standing up. See, that's all we need though, trick or treat, if you're watching. I know you're trying to keep the price down and all that stuff, but us collectors, we do like our stands for our figures, especially something simple, doesn't take up too much space in a detail for a shelf. Just with, you know, little name plaque saying Michael Myers Halloween 4. It'll get it done. Now, I do remember seeing in some early videos on YouTube that this was pretty tricky to get into the hand here. That's definitely proven to be the case for me too. I've got it in about that much, but I'm really going to have to work with this to get it in there a bit more. I'll come back to you, but that is seeming to be a bit tricky. Alright, got him on the rotating base, and that's about as much as I can get the knife in the hand there. I'll probably have to heat up the hand with a hairdryer, and I'm sure that will make life a bit easier. I don't have one in here right now. But the tailoring on the coveralls, designed by Tanila from Tanila's Customs, seems to have done a really good job. Just wish the sleeves were a little bit longer, then it wouldn't be so obvious with the wrist pegs when you're doing bend in the elbow kind of knife holding poses and stuff like that. It's a very small little nitpick though, because as you can see, it does fit really well and really good quality, just like with the 1978 coveralls, which were excellent. You can check out the double stitching here on the pockets. It's really well done, and all the kind of shoulder, it's been done really well. The kind of waistline here, all double stitching action. The elastic around the waist, double stitching on the pockets and the back. That burnt hand, nice. Yeah, definitely highly rate the coveralls. And like I saw on Sideshow Freaks when folks were saying, well, Dean knows Tanila, so maybe he's just saying that they're good coveralls because he knows Tanila and he doesn't want to piss her off. But that's not the case. They are really good. It's really good to see, having had Tanila's work done personally by her in my collection, and then see the evolution of someone like Trick or Treat Studios taking notice of her work and then reproducing it using her blueprints and having it come out as well as it has. And again, me having, you know, quite a bit of Tanila's work in the collection that was actually handmade by her. This is just like it. It's carried over perfectly to the mass-produced side of things, you know. Really good work on the coveralls. Now, when it comes to the sculpt, there's no getting around the fact I just personally don't think this mask could ever look scary. I mean, it just doesn't really have that for me. But it is what it is, and have Trick or Treat Studios or Justin Mabry and Alex Ray, have they managed to capture it and bring it to life in 1/6 scale? I definitely think so. Really well sculpted. Now on this one we don't have any eyes inside the mask like we did with the 78 version. It's literally just kind of sculpted black, which, I don't know, I would prefer, rather than this kind of a sculpted black section that you can see as it comes round, I'd rather just holes just inside, you know, just a hollow head even. You know, if you don't want the eyes to be visible at all, then I just wouldn't put any in there. I just would have left it as a hollow head, which would create the same look, but it would just be, you know, a bit less obvious that it's just sculpted and painted black. I don't know, I mean, let's see. Kind of turn off some lights here. Bring the light come from like directly above him. And see kind of effect it has. Now, it definitely looks a hell of a lot better, like all Michael Myers figures do, when you light them from above. When the main light source is coming from directly above him, it just has a great effect on the masks. You get to see it in a different way. It's just... and it makes the hair look better. It makes everything look better. As you can see, as it comes around, it just suddenly looks more real. But now the sculpted black kind of, you know, the effect on the eyes there, or lack of, it doesn't jump out at me anymore because he's lit properly. So that's definitely the way to try and light yours. If you get him, folks, try and get a kind of light from above situation happening, because I mean, it just amplifies everything straight away. Looks really cool. I wish I could light my figures like this, you know, in the room here, but I mean, it's just not really possible with my setup. But if I was a DTOF kind of guy, I would definitely kind of go for this kind of effect with all my figures, because I just love the, you know, the light coming from above look. Now just putting him in kind of an attacking pose, and like I said, you know, I mean, even if the sleeves were a little bit longer, you'd still see that wrist peg. I mean, there's just no way to avoid that, really. It is what it is. So, but he still looks cool. And it's nice with these kind of figures, you know, I've got a lot of different kinds of stuff in the collection, and there are just some figures that you could pose like this, but you wouldn't want to leave them like that for very long, because the suit would get damaged, or the skin would start to, you know, tear apart from the stress of the pose or something. But with something like this, you know, just the jointed plastic body underneath with the material coveralls, you can leave them like this for years and years, and I'm pretty damn sure no harm would come to the piece. And these being Halloween figures, and especially something like this, like a 1/6 scale Halloween 4, that's never happened before. You know, who knows? I mean, it may never happen again. This might be that one chance to own a Michael Myers from Halloween 4, and even though I'm not a huge fan of the movie, there was no way I was going to pass, like, the opportunity by to own him, because, you know, I just got that feeling in my bones that as a Michael Myers collector, it'd probably be wise to go ahead and grab this guy. You know, at least get him, and then see how you feel as a bit of time rolls by. I don't think you regret it. It's going to be interesting to see which one I prefer out of this one and the Halloween 5 version, which I'll review next. And then maybe after the reviews are done and get a big comparison going. That might be fun to do. It was definitely a lot easier to get the knife in this kind of... whoa, there you go. But yeah, in this kind of position where he's holding it that way, that's a lot easier to get it in. Maybe it's supposed to be like that, I'm not sure. Maybe he's supposed to always be holding the knife like this rather than with it coming up this way. I ain't sure about that. It looks cool though, man. I like it. There are times when it looks a bit like a 78 mask, certain angles, but not from the front. A little bit from the side though. Does look a little bit 78ish, doesn't it? Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, so the knife definitely goes in easier when you put it in that kind of direction where he's holding it downwards, rather than before when I was trying to put it in the upwards kind of position. Maybe it's meant to be like this. So it certainly was easier to get it in there. It looks pretty damn cool, folks. I ain't gonna lie to you. This is a nice looking piece. I think I probably will end up preferring this one a little bit more than the Halloween 5, but we'll wait until I review the Part 5 one. The Part 5 is more creepy looking, like some weird kind of... don't laugh when I say scarecrow, but for some reason, the Part 5 one, the head, the look of it, just kind of sometimes makes me think of a creepy kind of scarecrow. Whereas this... I don't know, it's different. Like I said, sometimes, like certain angles, it looks a bit 78 as the mask, sort of right about there. Not from the front, but then right about there. You see it, the 78? It's weird. And I kind of like that about it. He balances well. He looks good. And you got the really cool effect they have here where they've painted some hair behind his ears. You see? Just some little strands painted on. Now the boots do seem to be a slightly different design. They're certainly not jungle boots like the original 78, so you haven't got the green sections here. So it's nice to see that there is a difference between these boots and the ones from the 78 figure. There you go. Let's get a look at the tread. Some nice tread action there. Very, very nicely done. Nicely weathered, that's for sure. Very nicely painted. You've got to appreciate that level of detail. That is some damn good weathering on the boots. I'm so excited to see a Halloween 2 Dick Warlock figure from Trick or Treat Studios, and we know it's coming. I mean, it hasn't officially been announced yet, but they've said, you know, they want to do, ideally, they'd like to do every Michael Myers from all of the different movies, including the Rob Zombie stuff. Someone else apparently has the license rights to Rob Zombie's Michael Myers at the moment, but I did hear Trick or Treat Studios say that they really do want to bring that to collectors at some point, and I really would look forward to seeing that. I've always thought the Tailoring Michael Myers was one of the most intimidating looking. But been on a bit of a Halloween 2 Dick Warlock thing lately. Just kind of bashing figures together myself, trying to achieve something that looks like, you know, something from the movie, but I just can't wait to see what Trick or Treat Studios do with that. And I really, really can't wait to get my hands on the 2018 version. It's one of my favorite looks ever for Michael Myers. So really exciting times for Halloween fans. Now the scarring on the hand is done quite well too. And obviously, I don't think I'm the first one to say this would make you think of what would it be like if Trick or Treat Studios busted out a 1/6 scale Freddy Krueger. I'm sure it would be something to behold. I really got my fingers crossed for a part 2 Freddy's Revenge figure. That's the look I like the most. But really nice job on the hands. Quite gnarly looking. Let's go ahead and turn this one around. Yeah, look at that. It's nicely done. I mean, you can see a seam line, I guess you call it, which is a little bit unsightly, but we are zoomed right up in its business. It's not too bad. Alright, so just wanted to pop him in the big 1/6 scale diorama here, custom made by my buddy Glenn Page at Cult Creations on Instagram, Facebook. Really, really love dioramas. Takes figures to another level. Look at that. All of a sudden, he's just taken on so much more life. A lot of fun for photography. That is looking sweet. I'll zoom in on that mask. Waiting for you out the back of the club. I'm gonna get those VIPs. Turn them into VIDPs. Very important dead people. I didn't really talk about the articulation in the neck yet, but just like with the 78 version, articulation is very good. You can get them to look right down, all the way down. Or I presume all the way up too. Yeah, you can look pretty far up. But I like being able to get a nice range of movement with the Myers figures in the neck. It's cool, man. Yeah, you can get some serious head tilt action as well. Just in case you were wondering. Okay, I'm just peeking through the window there. Feeling left out. Hearing the thump of the bass from at the back of the club here, thinking, how come nobody ever, invites me out to boogie? Huh? I am the boogeyman after all. They just don't know. They don't know I got the moves. the Mikey Shuffle, the Stab, the Joker. You know, it's all good. Alright folks, that's pretty much the end of the video. I've really enjoyed reviewing this one. I would definitely recommend any Michael Myers fan picks this one up, just in case he ends up being hard to get later on. I would swoop in now and grab him, rather than risking it for later. But Trick or Treat Studios done an amazing job bringing this version of Michael Myers to life in 1/6 scale. The first time it's ever happened, so it's pretty special. I'm glad I have him here. And I'll be reviewing the part 5 for you after this one, so keep an eye out on the channel for that review coming up next. And thank you again to madabout-horror.co.uk for providing such an amazing service. If you're in the UK, then they're definitely the place to go to get all your horror stuff, not just figures, but everything else. The selection on the website is quite remarkable, so don't forget to check them out on Instagram too, because those live videos they've been doing on Fridays, giving us those exclusive looks at the new Trick or Treat Studios stuff, has been very exciting. So definitely check them out on Mad About Horror. Which I am. I like my horror stuff, you know I do. I like, you know, my DC, Batman and Joker and Catwoman and all that stuff. Me Terminators, me Predators, me Aliens. But horror is just one of those things. It never gets boring. I go through phases where I'll kind of be really into Batman, and then a few months will go by where I'm not so much bothered by Batman anymore, but it'll always come back again. But the horror thing, that never dims. It just, you know, I'm always into my horror figures. So it's really, really cool now that horror fans are starting to get some great 1/6 scale figures, particularly from the Halloween franchise. Just really is a cool time to be a collector. It's a lot of fun. So I'll see you back on the channel when I bring you the Halloween 5 figure review. Keep an eye out for that. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay healthy, stay well. I'll see you soon. Take it easy. Bye bye.